I told you I'm here to get it, cause baby, I'm in my prime. So if you want it, come with it. Nobody dimming my shine. Been a long time, homie, since I first got down. Still on top of my game, forever play to the crowd. When I'm in front of a mic and I'm in the spotlight, the gridiron, man, we taking y'all on a flight. Always coming for the hardcore, this is what I work for. Got a feeling for some more, they yelling encore. Verbally, I'm bringing heat to the streets. The flame spitter, my squad, nothing but winners, and you'll never see a quitter. Cause adversity is part of the plan. Just as sure as you go, always bob your head to the jam. So turn your volume up, you can see me up on your screen. Kicking knowledge like you need it, y'all some football fiends. Bringing heat at 100, we the realest around. Welcome to the gridiron, baby, it's going down now. Like the music buzzing in amps. When I hit the end zone, fans are rocking the stands. Cause I'm an already known until the breaking the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the field. It's the battle hymn, homie, gonna bang in your ear. And when they hear it, they gon' know the Kings is here. Already known until the breaking the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the field. I'm here to get mine, never gonna dwell on the past. Always moving forward, I won't take my foot off the gas. And I'm ready for the battle and whatever may come. I fight from up in the saddle, go and beat that war drum. If you want some, get some. Wicked about to get dumb. Got the crowd getting loud, everybody heads sprung. Hitting hard and coming stronger like a buck from a cage. Like Micah, I'm a lion busting out of my cage. Cause y'all ain't holding me now, I'll break your bury you down. Go and check your books, cause there ain't no play to be found. They can counter what I'm bringing, you ain't figure me out. Hitting suckers from their gut to their chest and their mouth. And now we steady climbing up to the top. You trying to get on our level, they watch your ass get dropped. Yo, it's your boy on the track, the OG double G. I'm rolling with the heavy hitter, yeah, that's Jersey the King. Let's get it.
Hey, yo, there's a lot of football to talk about. I'm so serious. A lot of football to talk about. And guess who's here to talk about it with me? This guy.
I'm back, baby. I am back for another week. Yeah, let's get it on. Let's get it on. I'm ready to do this with y'all today, baby. Your boy, back in the house. The wicked one, the OG double G. Let's
Yes,
get
sir.
it on,
This is the
baby.
gridiron. We're about to get this show started the right way. And you already know how we do it, baby. Welcome to Fuel Sports Network. Welcome to the gridiron. Lego. Welcome. Happy Saturday to everyone. Welcome to the Gridiron, live on Fuel Sports Network. I am Jersey the King. To my left is my brother from another mother, the OG, the double OG, the wicked one, Gabriel Garcia.
What
What's
up,
going on,
everybody?
Gabe?
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing great, man. I'm feeling
Yeah,
good.
man.
You know
Ain't
what I
talked
mean?
to you all week,
Haven't
man.
been
Ain't
to
talked
sleep
you all
yet,
week.
but
Yeah.
I know. It's been crazy. I work overnights now, you know what I mean? So if you can't get if we don't talk on Monday or Tuesday when I'm off, it's like we don't talk until the morning of the show, y'all.
Yeah.
Like it's real, but we stay connected, man. This is my brother from another mother, but it's a great Saturday. It really is. It's a great Saturday. There's no UFL football games today, of course, because the season's over with. But there is still some IFL games, so make sure y'all tune in because week 15 is popping. The playoff push is real, y'all. It's real today. What's going on, everybody that's in the chat, watching on social media? Hit, how you feeling today, brother? Yes, sir. It's football talk
we
today.
got some UFC on right now. As I'm talking,
Yes.
we got Fight Night
UFC.
live. We got live. I believe this is the Whitaker versus Aliskerov. Yeah, man, that's going down right now. So if y'all are watching,
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there a UFC pay-per-view on today?
Yes, I believe that is the pay-per-view. I don't know. I think this is I don't know if
I
this
believe
is
this is
yeah,
UFC 303.
Yeah.
It's the early prelims of UFC 303.
Mm,
And for an
that's
update
today.
for
Are
all
you
you
sure that's
MMA
today?
lovers,
I got to figure
it's
it
either
out.
today or next Saturday.
I think it's next Saturday.
It's either
We got
today
fight night
or
on
next
right now. Either way, we got some MMA
Right.
on going right now.
Right. And
We're
if you
rocking
missed
on
the
this
PFL last night, regular season, you can go back and watch it on ESPN Plus. It was the light heavyweights and the lightweights. Man, Impa Kasanganai, that man is a problem. That man is a problem. But let's get off the MMA. This is football. My bad, y'all. You know, we went on a little bit of a tangent because we love sports. This is what we do. But let's get into it, man. Before we do, though, as always, make sure you guys go and follow The Gridiron Show on all social media platforms. On X, it's The Gridiron. On Facebook, it's The Gridiron Show. YouTube, The Gridiron Show. Instagram, The Gridiron Show. And TikTok, The Gridiron Show. And Spotify, The Gridiron. So make sure you guys go and check out all the socials. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow everywhere else. Now, let's get into it. The Birmingham Stallions. Them ponies wasn't ponies anymore. They was full-bred horses in this game, boy, because they giddy up and took out them bulls. And it's crazy how they did it. The first half was not what you expected from either team. But I told y'all about that boy 9 a.m.
Well, I expected a defensive struggle, though. See, the first half was not a surprise to me. Of course, I did expect at least some points, even in the first half. And Antonio, I said, okay, it's going to be a low-scoring defensive game. But, I mean, come on. You don't expect them to be shut out in the first half, right? So I get what you're saying. Right. It wasn't exactly what you expected. So I hear that.
And I look at it this way as well. When you look at how the second half even played out, it was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Did San Antonio just not show up whatsoever?
I'm telling you, bro. I made a joke this week that even the Renegades scored more points in that championship game than Brahmas did, bro. And the Renegades weren't there.
My man. I can't wait to. Let's get into some highlights, man.
Oh, man.
Here we go, y'all.
Welcome to the field, the XFL Conference Champion, San Antonio.
They're all a little different. You get into these games, and there's a lot of defense out there right now. You see defense can go out there and play with a lot of energy, but someone's got to get the ball down the field.
Ocean! Hey! Blitz coming, quick pass. Open is Jennings, fighting into the end zone. Touchdown, Birmingham. Martinez. Open. Touchdown. Sneak. No signal. They say he didn't get it. The official comes in from the sideline saying San Antonio stopped it, and they'll turn it over on downs. Big play by this defense.
That's a huge stop by that Brahmas defense. There's no doubt. That T-Bone has not been stopped by many people over the course of the last couple of years, and here they're trying with a sneak right here. They're
calling now, but they work all season long. You and Mike Pereira back in the command center. And that's one of the great innovations we have seen as we get a timeout called on the field. And there's some pushing and shoving and fighting along the sideline. Jay Sternberg, you can see involved. Thompson there without a helmet on for San Antonio.
One of the defense. Both fouls have been deemed flagrant, and both players are ejected.
This is the outside here, Sternberger. And you can tell this has been brewing all day long because they're just going out. This is like hockey style right now. It's like literally they were going after each other right away. And that continued for a while. And then even after this original tangle, as they were trying to get loose.
Timeout.
There was a couple of other
San Antonio.
pushes, and then
Their
that's
second.
right there. See, there was a left hand from Sternberger, and then again, more flags came out. And so now Bryce Thompson and Jay Sternberger.
Here, he has been doused. Oh, it's lucky he didn't drown in that one.
But how to you? There it is. That's a good one to win, my man.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Gideon!
Damn, I hate the Philadelphia Stallions. But that was impressive. That was impressive as hell, man. That game, there is no denying. As much as we hate to say this, bro, there's no denying that this is the best team in the UFL right now. I mean, they are just obviously they won the championship, but the way they did it, bro, like they were making sure there was gonna be no doubt. There was going to be no, it was a bad call that changed the game. Oh, they shouldn't have won. No. They were like, we're going to go into this thing and we're going to put
and not leave it in the ref's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. They went into that game and had that notion of we're not going to put this in the ref's hand. We're not going to leave it up to the refs. We're going to do as well as we can playing clean. Not a lot of penalties. I mean, Jay Sternberger and them boys getting heated. I seen it coming. You know, it was getting chippy at the beginning of the game, from what I heard. You know, and it's just it was inevitable for them to get ejected. It's a championship game. They're not playing that. They want this game to be eventful, of course, but they want people to see the good side of the football game. Excuse me, the good side of the football game, not all the extracurricular, you know what I mean? And throwing punches and stuff is not needed. You know what I mean? Regardless, throwing punches, spitting on players, you know what I mean? Things like that. They're not going to tolerate that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they got ejected in the championship game, and that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, the second half was overall exciting. The first half was a little stale, don't get me wrong, but the second half was overall exciting. And
see, for me, I was loving that first half because you know me, I'm like defense, man. I don't care.
You're a defensive guy.
Sometimes you get those games where there's no score, but it's like just ugly football. We saw that from the UFL a few times this year where you're like, no, it's not a defensive game, it's just ugly. But that first half was just stellar defense by both squads, to be honest. But now let me ask you, what's he talking about, man?
I see your comments here.
Hey, so let me ask you something about this game, bro. I know you're big on Adrian Martinez, and they had to give the MVP to somebody. The truth is, the true MVP of this game was the defense for San Antonio, for the Brahmas. For the Stallions. But if I'm looking at stuff, I mean, Adrian Martinez, dude, 52 yards rushing, 98 yards passing. I know he had the 3 touchdowns because 2 were rushing, but how close were they? I mean, I would have honestly rather seen Person get this with 13 carries, 102 yards. The dude averaged almost 8 yards a carry in this game. You know what I mean? But I think the
3 touchdowns is what did it.
Yeah.
But it still shouldn't have mattered.
Otherwise, his stat line was nothing to write home about.
It was productive enough to get the W.
Well, when you got
that's how you look at it.
Yeah, when you got the defense playing like that,
it's like with Shannon Sharp.
There was no interceptions for him. That was the key right there.
No interceptions and no sack fumbles. And then it's like what Shannon Sharp and Stephen A would always say about the Cowboys last season, how we would get those scooping scores on defense, or we would get those huge defensive stops and turnovers that'll put our offense in great field position. It's things like that you know, your defense playing like that helps a quarterback have great stats.
Oh, absolutely.
Without great stats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can have great stats without great stats.
Yeah, all he had to do was manage the game. And he managed the game brilliantly, especially with Person running the way he was. You know, the running game was doing their thing. It was just do I dare say almost a near perfect performance. I don't want to say a perfect performance by the team because the first half they had a lot of issues offensively. The pass game never really got going at all the entire game, except for the key plays, which is all you got to do. But hey, this just goes to show what's the old term that has been around forever in football say about defense, bro?
Defense wins championships.
And it did this time.
Period.
Exactly.
And before we go to commercial break, check this out. Not only was it a shutout, but this is the Birmingham Stallions since 2022 as a spring football franchise. 32-4, y'all.
How does Skip Holtz not have a job in the NFL yet, man?
Because he knows what he wants.
The thing is, this dude
it's to help players like these. These guys coming
in the NFL,
out of the college or getting cut out of the NFL and needing this second chance and needing that type of coach who
throw
can
him
coach
enough money, man. He gonna take it. You throw him enough money.
Yeah,
but I like what he's doing, man. I really like what he's doing.
Plus 312 point differential. Back to back to back. Spring football champions. 2 in the USFL and now 1 in the inaugural Spring Bowl. And to have 2023 and 2024 MVPs, players who won the MVP. Just saying, man.
They are
now give the Birmingham Stallions.
They are officially the evil empire of spring football. They are. They are
looking to start that.
They are the New York Yankees. Yeah, they're the Yankees. They're the Los Angeles Lakers. They're the Dallas Cowboys. Whatever you want to call them.
They're the Kansas City Chiefs of the UFL right now. We're not comparing them team wise.
No,
we're just saying
you're right.
3 championships in a row.
They are the team that is the most dominant, and their fans are the most freaking irritating, I swear. So they are the most hated team right now. But the reason they are the evil empire is because of the fact
they are
the
best.
It done on the field. Yes, and with Skip Holtz,
tell him, Gabe.
With Skip Holtz
getting it done.
Yes, with Skip Holtz, I don't expect this team to slow down. They can even be hell. They might have a different quarterback next year. Still going to be the favorites because Skip Holtz is the X factor there. He's the X factor. Yep. It doesn't matter who his quarterback is, y'all. Go back and look at those championships. It was with 3 different quarterbacks. That's amazing.
Skip Holtz and that defensive coordinator. That's the X factors right there. When you have a defensive coordinator and a head coach that can mesh so well, and not only mesh well together, but mesh well with the players, that's all you need. That's all you need. But let us get into a quick
watching this game. Real quick, watching this game. Y'all go back and watch it if you get a chance, and you're gonna see just what we're talking about with Skip Holtz, because when he started calling plays and making his adjustments in that second half, you could see him. You could hear the plays he's calling on TV, and you're like, oh, he's starting to cook. He's starting to cook. The man is a great coach. He is.
He's a genius. When we come back from this commercial break, we're going to talk what's next for the UFL in season 2, because there is a season 2, y'all. Let's get it. We'll be right back with more right here on Fuel Sports Network. This is the Gridiron with Double OG Gabe Garcia and your boy JTK Kevin Womble. We'll be right back after these messages.
Struggled. If you've ever failed. If you want to get better, be better, and make our world better, this is the perfect brand for you. True Victory. Founded by U.S. military veterans, True Victory is a sportswear and streetwear brand dedicated to building everyday champions, on and off the field. We're a cause, Our purpose is to transform lives and elevate humanity through the power and unity of sports, positive stories, and serving others. We're dedicated to the game, the grind, and the globe. But most importantly, we're dedicated to you. That's what it means to be always true.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Live on Fuel Sports Network. If you haven't already, go and download the Fuel Sports Network app on Roku and Amazon TV and devices, as well as you've seen we have a new sponsor, Retro Royals. Make sure you go and use that discount code for them as well. And everywhere else that you see discount codes in our commercials, make sure you guys utilize those discount codes. It's Fuel Sports Network for McDougal Bats. Save 10% with W Energy. Save 10 now with Just Meat Jerky. Save 15 now with True Victory Apparel. And save 10 with Retro Royals. So, real quick, Gabe, I gotta address one of the comments from Sabrina. Sabrina, welcome in. Thank you for tuning in. She cracks me up, bro. She says, this is so funny to me. I was reading this during the commercial break. She said, even with the season Martinez had, I'm still not convinced that he's the truth. He's still a little shaky to me. And you know what that reminds me of? Emmanuel on Wildin' Out. When they play the game, I don't want to say it, but GD. And he's like, it's a little shaky. It's a little shaky. And that's all I thought of when I read that comment. He's a little shaky, just a little shaky. Stay in your lane. And she said, I hate them ponies like I hate the Bulls. Well, listen, I'm a daggone Bulls fan. You really hate the Bulls?
Well, I think, but you got to remember that. Hey, but you know what? The Bulls were the most hated team,
of course,
back in the day. Back when they were winning those, those three-peats, they were the team. They were what the Chiefs are now. Let's be real. In the NBA, they were the team. You got the best player in the game, in the world. You nobody's can beat you, no matter what. And so that I get what you're saying. That I don't hate the Bulls.
And
I don't hate the Bulls. I was always a Magic fan, but.
Some fans are like, watching a non-NFL football game is like playing a level of Donkey Kong Country, getting frustrated mid-level, but still wanting those bananas.
That is very specific.
And somewhat accurate.
Hey, you know what, Sabrina? Like your comment about Adrian Martinez, I get that. I think obviously the running aspect was his big thing this year. But I'm still not convinced as the passer that he could be at the next level. But I mean, at this point, he didn't have to be this year. He didn't have to be. The dude came out of nowhere, was doing his thing, and he won the MVP. I'm still not convinced as the passer, but with what they got going on there, he doesn't have to be, and you could still develop that more. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm
and if he does get a chance in the NFL and ends up getting cut, doesn't matter because the UFL still owns the rights to these players, even when they get signed to the UFL.
You know what some good news was that I saw. You know how the contracts just ended through all the year, but they did say that each team after NFL camp, each team is going to have first rights to their current players. In terms of getting them re-signed to a contract before they can go anywhere else. So I think that's actually good news because you're going to see less players jumping to other teams. You know what I'm saying? So I like that a lot.
Let's look ahead, Gabe. Let's look ahead to season 2 of the UFL, the off season. There was an interesting figurehead, if you want to call it, or person of interest that attended said UFL championship, said first annual Spring Bowl. That's what we're calling it, guys. We have to hashtag that. Hashtag Spring Bowl. Let's go. There's no reason why not to call it the Spring Bowl. You got the Super Bowl in the NFL, Spring Bowl in the UFL. Let's keep it real. But yeah, there was a certain figurehead there. I think we call him the GOAT. TB12.
He's a GOAT. Yeah. He was there.
He was there.
He's
a bad man.
Freaking hilarious watching him in that with the commentary report. He's looking down at both of them, bro. He's looking down at both.
Oh yeah, at the commentators, at Joe Klatt and Kurt Middlefield. But at the celebration though, at the trophy ceremony, when they're going to douse, or when they were spraying the champagne and they're dousing the champagne all over the place, they're like, "Protect Tom, protect Tom."
Yeah.
That's worth too much.
Fox is like, "Hey man, we sent them out there to help y'all out a little bit. Don't be getting Tom all caught up out there. All right."
Have you heard the whispers?
I've heard.
Have you heard the whispers? Have you heard the TB12 UFL whispers? Ooh, bars. Dang.
No.
Have you heard those whispers?
I'm ready to believe he's going to do more than he did already.
You don't think he could possibly become an investor
for the NFL? Nah, I don't know. Maybe an investor, but
he's already an.
I mean, but that's not. But that's not really going to do much. That's not going to do much for the UFL other than ensure that they're getting more money coming in. How is it going to change anything other than the fact that they're getting more money coming in?
What if he invests as a team owner?
He's already doing that with the Raiders, though. So, and you don't see him out there doing stuff with the Raiders. You know what I mean?
He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to. He's a minority owner.
Nah, I ain't gonna start getting
Tom
all
Brady.
excited about
Hold on.
this
No, I'm just letting you know this. This is how much Tom Brady is in Vegas. Where I work at the Encore Casino, Tom Brady invested in the Wynn and Encore's fitness center for our guests.
Oh, he's got a lot of investments going on. Yeah.
Yes. And a lot of it has to do with sports. He has ownership in the Aces now. He has ownership in the Raiders. You don't think he's going to eventually put his hands in a Vegas team back in the UFL? I'm just saying.
But I'm not ready to go there.
The Vipers could come back. I know, but it's not with these whispers that are going around and him showing his face at the championship game, presenting trophies.
I just don't want to talk about you. You're my brother. I don't want you to get your hopes up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. But it makes sense with what Greg Williams was talking about, getting local ownership.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's why I say, do you see the pot that's brewing? If Tom Brady invests in local ownership of a Vegas team in the UFL, or just a team in the UFL, let's just say, I'm just saying Vegas because he has his hands in so many teams right now in Vegas. But let's just say he brings back the Vipers, whatever the case, and we get other local team owners. Then we'll see players and coaches living in the cities that they play in, right? We'll see them flying 2 games from their home city.
I think we're still quite a few seasons away from that, though.
That's perfectly fine. But we can definitely whisper about it now because it's already been insinuated by Greg Williams himself, a defensive coordinator in the league.
Freaking hit. I'm going to let you dream like it says. It says we got to let you dream.
Hey, let me dream. But listen, we got the UFL showcases. You know what?
Hey, you know what, though, bro? We got the UFL show. You are an example right now of why people are excited about this league, as should be. Because
anything could happen.
There's so many possibilities. You're right.
Exactly. Anything could happen. We get surprises all the time from the UFL. Do we not?
Yeah.
Did we not get surprises from the USFL and the XFL last season? Just out of nowhere announcements. You never know what can happen. I'm just saying. We got the merge out of nowhere. But here we go. 2024 UFL showcases. In your face. St. Louis, July 12th. Washington, D.C., July 14th. Atlanta, July 26th. Houston, July 28th. Orlando, September 29th, and San Diego October 20th.
That
So
one's
from
big.
now,
Yeah, San
from
Diego is
July,
big because this gives them an opportunity to get some interest out there. Get people talking.
Mhm.
Hey, UFL Showcase coming to the area. I have a feeling that if they at some point within the next 2-3 seasons expand, San Diego is going to be one of the first cities on that radar of theirs. So this is just the start of
Definitely.
that. You put a showcase out there. That's the one they got lined up for the West Coast right now. That's big, bro. It is.
Jersey Had a Dream new mixtape. I can't stand it, bro. I love you though, bro. That is too funny. Jersey Had a Dream. Y'all be cracking me up. I love it. Y'all see I got the mic popping with the fuel now. You know what I mean? Let's get it, man. Fuel Sports Network. If you haven't already, go ahead and download the app on your Roku and Amazon TV and devices. That's Roku TV, Amazon TV, Roku Stick, and Amazon Fire Stick. Make sure you go and grab it now. We will be available on all devices soon. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming where we're going to be available on all devices and have fast channels in certain places. And we'll let you guys know when all that's going down. Just stick around for the future of fuel. But we're going to take another quick commercial break because we went over earlier on our commercial break. So we're going to take another quick commercial break, and it's going to be quick, y'all. And when we come back, we're going to get into some IFL talk. It's week 15. We got some fan mail from my boy Hit. We got some NFL news, and we got some NCAA news as well to get into. So we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Real quick, y'all. Don't go nowhere. Hold your daggone horses. You feel me? We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Gridiron Live on Fuel Sports Network. I am one of your co-hosts, Jersey the King, Mr. Kevin Womble. And to my left, we have the OG, Double G, the wicked one, the one and only, my brother from another, mi hermano, Gabriel Garcia. And Gabe, it's week 15 in the IFL. And unfortunately, last weekend, you were not on the show for me to gloat and talk mess beforehand. But we put a spanking on them gladiators out there in Duke City.
But is that really gloating? Because who hasn't? I mean, the squad is trash, right? It's okay though. It's okay because no, it's not okay. I mean, come on, man. They beat Briscoe. They beat Briscoe. That was like the championship for the squad,
right? Let's go. Then y'all came to Vegas came to town.
Yeah. That man, that's how you, bro. It's just, all I can
say
we
needed that win.
See, that's the thing though. Like these are two teams that are on way two different trajectories, man. You know what I mean? Vegas is one of the contenders. Vegas is one of the contenders going up. And right now the Gladiators are just trying to find a place in this league. That's what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Find a place in this league and hopefully try to get themselves known, get some players going into next season, because this year it was just about, okay, they're going to be that team on everybody's schedule that this is likely going to be a win. Obviously Frisco, that second time they played, that's not what went down. But I think this is just this was just a matter of two teams that were just like you said. Vegas right now, Vegas is up there. Vegas is one of the premier squads right now. Whereas the Gladiators, Duke City, not so much. But, the teams go through this in every league, in every sport.
Right.
And right now, see, that's why I'm glad we didn't have this extra week last week, bro, because now that wanting to gloat from you, it tempered down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't get to. I got to do my gloating on Thursday night on the JTK show. So I got to do my gloating there. I won't rub it in here. I love you, brother, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Caw.
Oh,
Damn it.
oh my God.
The real caw is the Nighthawks.
Caca
Don't
to
even
me.
trip.
That's caca. That's what I'm talking about. Caca. That's all I hear every time I see St. Louis Battlehawks fans now. Who came up with that?
Well, the Vegas Nighthawks. It's what a hawk does. That's what the noise a hawk makes. I'm just saying. Look, this is our Week 15 preview, y'all. This is the schedule we got going for you guys and the betting lines. Speaking of the Massachusetts Pirates, Ricky, he got a nod at the NFL, y'all. And Massachusetts Pirates showed some love on their X and Facebook channels or feeds, and showed him some love because he did play for the Massachusetts Pirates and then made his way to the USFL and the UFL, and now on his way to the NFL. So shout out to the Massachusetts Pirates for showing that love. But they're taking on the Jacksonville Sharks, who haven't been looking so good this year, man. They haven't been looking so good in their first year in the IFL. They'll be looking to bounce back next season for sure. Then you got the Tulsa Oilers taking on the Iowa Barnstormers, who came off a nice, decent win last week. Green Bay Blizzards, who's already clinched a spot in the playoffs, taking on Quad City. Bay Area Panthers taking on your Duke City Gladiators. Watch Duke City mess around and get a win and help us out in that playoff push in the Western Conference. We got the Susie Storm taking on the Frisco Fighters. We got those the Arizona Rattlers coming into Vegas, taking on the Nighthawks. We also have the San Diego Strike Force taking on the Sugar Scrolls, and the San Antonio Gunslingers. Shout out to Phil, Leo, and RC of the Smoking Guns podcast. Their Gunslingers are taking on the Northern Arizona Wranglers, which is going to be a great game. I can honestly say that. Are you excited about this Duke City team going into the offseason and what they're going to be able to bring into the team for next season? Because it's definitely something that they got to go and work on this offseason, bringing in better players and getting that chemistry down with the current players as well. Even if they might have
anytime you have a team that is just this bad during the season, that there has to be moves in the offseason. So you always look at it from a fan standpoint of saying, all right, cool. You got something to get excited about. Let's see what kind of moves, how many moves they make, try and get some new players in here. So that is exciting. And in terms of something to look forward to as a fan, you know what I mean? Let's get into the off season and let's see what kind of moves. The one good thing about when you're a team that is your season's being ended early per se. You know what I mean? You're not going into that postseason. You're not going to be winning no championships. So you're right now, their staff is probably already looking ahead to next season. You know what I mean? They're starting to plan. They're kind of already not. I'm not going to say they're in off-season mode because when you coach, when you play at this level, it's you tunnel vision on each game week after week. But I think what they're going to be able to do is kind of get a jump start on it a little bit and just hopefully try to put together a squad this offseason that is at least going to compete next season. Now they've had some close losses this year, but that happens a lot in this league. You're going to get close games. The thing is getting in the right personnel, the right coaching, the right situations to where you're going to be that team that is on the other side of those close games, on the winning side, the ones that finish it out, like Vegas and all these other teams are doing. That's how when you've got these leagues like this that are these indoor, like the IFL, where it's a lot of high scoring. That's how you know who the good teams are, bro, or the ones that are able to finish it at the end, no matter how close it is. They're on the winning side of it. So I'm hoping that we get a little more of that next year. But it's all going to depend on an off season, bro. It's all going to, and I'm going to be keeping an eye, especially now that I'm not going to be doing Hellraisers right now. So I got a little more time now. So I'm going to try and follow this team through the off season being that I'm so close, I'm just about 3 hours from Albuquerque, and hopefully try and get out there next year, man. Hopefully they got a better product on the field, but that's
Yes,
from
sir.
the fan of a losing side. And now my boy over there is giving his thoughts on the fan of the winning side.
Yes, I'm excited for Vegas. I really am. I'm excited for Vegas and what we're able to do, and possibly able to succeed with this season, and that's making it to the IFL Championship, which will be held. The national championship will be held in Vegas this season, as well as next season. There's a 3-year deal on the table already from last season, where it started at, and tickets are on sale now, and you can actually use that team code Nighthawks for tickets to the national championship. So, but yeah, I'm interested and excited for the rest of the season because we just had a 3-game stunt of losses. Got our bounce back win last week against Duke City, and now we're going up against a decent team in this. What team is this again? I'm sorry. This Arizona Rattlers team. We've played them already, and it was no joke. They're a tough team. And as you see in these standings here, what we're looking at right now, unfortunately, guys, I won't be able to go to the game today. The game starts too late for me to make it to the game, make it back, and get to work on time. So I do apologize, but I will be able to go to the next home game depending on the time. But as you guys can see, we're 8-3, 1 game behind the Bay Area Panthers in the West. And we are also
that's who my
2
boys
games
got up
behind in the
next, man.
conference.
We got those Panthers up next, man. So
yeah,
you're gonna have to be rooting for
them. And
them.
if you can give them a loss, that'll definitely help us out. So I'm definitely gonna be rooting for Duke City today in that game. As you see, Green Bay is the only team so far that has clinched a playoff spot because they are the first team to 10 wins. Frisco's right behind them at 9-3. And Massachusetts is looking at making the playoffs with a 6-6 record right now. If they can finish out the season, there's 19 weeks in the IFL season. If they can finish out the season above 500, at least 2 or 3 games, 4 games above 500, I believe that they can make a nice push and give that Eastern Conference some little fizzle. You know what I mean? A little excitement, definitely for that playoff side. Going into the playoffs here. Like the push is real. The push is real right now, guys. If you aren't into the IFL, man, get into it. This is a really good indoor football league, unlike what's going on with the reignited AFL and the NAL and the TAL and all these other indoor football leagues that aren't really doing as well as the indoor football league. The IFL has 16 teams, and they're one of the only indoor leagues that have 16 teams.
Let me tell y'all something. As somebody who just came into this league, if you really want to get into this league, first of all, there's going to be scoring. Expect that. But it's a smaller field. It's just some of the rules are different. Learn the rules. Because when you learn and understand the rules, it makes it much, much easier to just naturally start really getting excited about these games when you know the rules. Because when you don't know the rules, it's a little bit like you're watching, you're like, okay, what just went on? This ain't football. And you're like, it is.
What the heck is going on?
Though. Learn the rules, and then you're like, okay, I get it now. I get it. So learn the rules. Know there's going to be close games, scoring, look, like we're talking about my Gladiators, and I'm like, we've got like 4 or 5 1-point losses this year.
Yeah. But it just shows you that is it
fair to say that the Gladiators were the renegades of the NFL this year? All the close losses, bro.
When it comes to the close losses, yes, definitely. Definitely. When it comes to record, we're going to have to say Memphis. We're going to have to say
but that's real talk, man.
The Memphis Titanics. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm just they got their ship sunk the whole season, y'all. I'm just saying. But man, definitely check out the IFL if you haven't. The Indoor Football League. The Indoor War is dope, man. I love it. I'm glad I got into this league. I've got to go to a game, and I will be going to more this season before the season's over with. The Indoor Football League atmosphere is really, really dope, man. The fans love it because any ball that goes into the stands, they get to keep that. So it's a fun atmosphere. They're all about the family and fun experience, man. It's awesome. Check it out
Oh
on
yeah,
television first
they made
if
it's
you get games
affordable
in your
too for
local
the
area.
family to get out there. You
It
know, like
definitely is.
up the Gladiators, the game for Vegas, they actually had, you know, it was a Father's Day weekend thing where all fathers were getting in free. So you're gonna
Yep.
see these types of promotions league wide, man, and it's great. It's great. It's
And it was
great
packed.
interaction for the fans because you're so close to the
Yeah, it was
field.
packed.
Yeah.
It was a nice turnout. I seen the turnout of that game, and I was impressed with that deal going on with the fathers getting free. Man, it was nice. It was really really nice. And then the good thing about Vegas and Albuquerque being so close to each other, fans from Vegas were able to travel to the game
Yeah.
and be
Mhm.
able to receive that fathers getting free is advantage as well. And it was awesome, man. It was a nice turnout, really really nice time. Damn near packed the house. So you got to give them credit, man. The fans showed up and showed out, and
Unfortunately,
it
that
was
wasn't one of the
loud and
close
noisy.
losses. Unfortunately, that wasn't one of the close. That was a 14-point loss for my
Nobody,
boys, but yeah, that's all right.
nobody. We no play no games, okay? We no play no games. Jerome Johnson came back.
No,
Look,
Vegas is legit. Vegas
Mikel
is legit.
Calhoun is the reigning defensive player of the week. You know, I'm just saying he's won that award for the second time this year. Stop playing. We have a good defense as well. Stop playing with us, okay? Stop playing with the Nighthawks. We're gonna bounce back, and we're gonna show why we might be hosting the IFL National Championship game this year. Just saying. I'm gonna talk my ish, y'all. But we're gonna take another quick commercial break. When we come back, y'all, we're gonna get into some NFL news. We're gonna get into some we're gonna really quickly get into some NFL news, get into some fan mail and some NCAA news as well. And we're gonna end the show remembering the great Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. So we'll be right back after this quick commercial break, y'all. Don't go nowhere, because we are live on Fuel Sports Network and it's going down, baby. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere, y'all.
Same great taste. Yes, same great taste. Same great taste.
Be right back. Welcome back to the Gridiron Live on Fuel Sports Network. Gabe, what the heck is going on in the NFL with these running backs in this market getting completely reset? And just, I don't know, man. What's going on? Like,
Well, I think teams
CMC
last
just got a
year,
huge deal.
yeah, last year, you know, was the year everybody was complaining about, you know, the running backs getting no respect. So now I think they're finally getting it. You know, teams saw that this year. You know, the Chiefs wouldn't have had the run they did and everything without the way Isaiah Pacheco played. Let's be real.
Right.
You know, they didn't have the receiving game that they normally do. So Pacheco was a big part of them going on that Super Bowl run last year and even the year
Definitely.
before in the postseason. So I think just teams were seeing it last year. So when this offseason went down, we saw all these running backs that hit the market, man. Saquon, Derrick Henry, all these big name backs out there. Teams were like, okay, you know what? Actually, these guys are going to be a big part of what we need to do. So I'm loving it. I'm glad that the running backs are getting their respect again. Now, the problem is, how many of these guys are not going to perform up to their contracts? Because that's what always ends up being the problem. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but
And
I
you
mean,
talked a
hey,
lot about Ramondre Stevenson last year. You talked a lot about him last year and how he performed on the field last year, despite the ups and downs of the Patriots. He got a huge 4-year extension. And you also recently on Gridiron Nation, for a couple weeks now, have been speaking about, and even posting about it on social media, that T. Higgins didn't sign that franchise tag. Well, now that has changed. He has signed that 1-year franchise tag. Ramondre Stevenson has got his bag. What are we looking at in this upcoming season for players next season looking to get these big bags? You know what I mean?
Well,
Are we looking
Ramondre
at
Stevenson getting a
underperformance? Are
4-year
we
deal.
looking at
And Ramondre Stevenson, I think, is a good place to start with this because 4-year deal, $36 million. He's just hit his prime.
Yeah.
You know, he battled some injuries last year, but he was able to stay on the field a lot more than he was the year before, which was big. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
that was the reason the team felt okay not re-signing Zeke. Let Zeke go back to Dallas and let's just throw the bag at Stevenson. So I think this was a great move, not just for him, but for the Players Association, period. This helps the running back, especially because he's not Derrick Henry in terms of name. Okay. He doesn't have the name of Christian McCaffrey. But if you watch Ramondre Stevenson run the ball, you understand why he is one of the better top tier running backs in the game. The reason people don't talk about it is because, like you said, the struggles of the Patriots as a team. You know what I mean? But I think this is big because after this year, bro, like, I mean, you're looking at guys that are still out there, like dang it. It just Devin Cook is still out there. How?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So this is big because this is a team like the Patriots saying we're committing to our guy. We're locking him in for 4 years. That is big for a running back. That's big for a running back that's been there already a few years. So now you're going to look at other running backs that are going to be consistent like him, and they're going to say, hey, you know, while I do want my money, I'm better off going with the 4 years. Give me that extra year instead of the 3-year contract. Give me that 4-year deal, and I'll take a little less guaranteed money because his was for $17 million guaranteed off of a $36 million extension. So that's how they can negotiate this kind of stuff. But I think it's great. As far as T. Higgins, though, I'm not surprised. I saw this coming. I said eventually he's going to sign that tag because he knows that. I think we're all seeing now that the Bengals likely are not going to they're not going to re-sign him after this year. You know what I mean? So
unless he goes crazy.
Well, the problem is they won't. They're not going to have the money because Jamar Chase is likely going to top what Justin Jefferson did, and that's the whole reason that they didn't keep Tyler Boyd there either. So I think what they're going to do this year is they're going to let him. They're going to pay him a bag on the franchise tag. He's going to go out. He knows that this is basically an audition year for free agency, and they're likely going to go after. I'm thinking they're going to cover their wide receiver 2 spot in the draft next year. But let's say the Bengals just kind of, crap the bed, and before the trade deadline, they're not looking like they're going to make the playoffs. You could see him being moved. So it wouldn't surprise me. Of course, the team is going to want to do that at that time because you got to give up an automatic 2 first-round picks for a franchise tag player. I don't see them being able to move him, but I have a feeling that this is going to be his last year with the Bengals. He knows it. Let me sign that tag. Let me make my money this year, and let me go and put on some tape for a team next year because T. Higgins, to me, deserves to be a wide receiver 1 anywhere. He deserves to be paid like a wide receiver 1. He was showing that he was a legit wide receiver 1. They didn't need to draft Jamar Chase back then. Yes, it was a great move for them, bro. It was. But they drafted him because of Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? And so I think but I think in terms of what you asked, what does this mean for the coming season? Wow, what this means is guys like Ayuk now could end up probably being traded before the deadline if the Niners are struggling, which I don't see happening. But I don't see Ayuk there next year. You know what I mean? Which is because they drafted Pearsall for a reason in the first round. You know what I mean? So just a lot of different moves that were made this year, bro, that are still leaving up a lot of questions. And now it's looking like the wide receivers are the ones not getting the respect, but they are money-wise. JJ got his bag. But for the running backs, I love this Stevenson move, bro. It just makes a lot of sense. They're going to build this offense around him over the next 2 years, and we'll see. We'll see where they go. The Patriots, though, man, I have a feeling they'll be going after a quarterback in the draft next year, though.
Definitely. Real quick, I meant to talk about this a couple weeks ago, so we can really quickly jump on this before we get into some fan mail. College football playoff format has been set for the 2024-2025 season, and the dates for these games are as follows. First round will be the playoff rounds, of course. Then you'll have the bowl games in the quarterfinal rounds, is where the bowl games will start. Then the playoff semifinals, of course, and then the national championship. So we're looking at everything already set in place for this new 12-team format. And this is what we have. We have a first round, second round, third round, and a national championship now. So it makes it a little bit more exciting.
Okay, tell me this real quick. I'm looking at 4 games in the first 2 rounds each, total of 8 games. So are we getting teams with buys that are moving to the quarterfinals automatically?
Yes, first 5. Or the top 5.
That makes sense. That makes sense then. Okay,
top 5. Now, let's get into my favorite part of the show real quick because we run it on time, y'all.
Play that jingle, baby. Play that jingle.
Let's go. It is. I messed up. Oh, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hit with the fan mail as always. Hit ask, what is your hope for the future of leagues like the IFL and the UFL? I'm going to be real. I want to see the IFL expand to 32 teams. I want to see the UFL eventually expand to 12, 16, 24, and 32 over the next 10 to 12 years, if they last that long. But the IFL has been a lasting league so far. They've been the longest lasting indoor arena football league. They've been the most successful in the last 7, 8 years, 9 years, almost a decade. So I just want to see growth and more exposure for them on the national scale, national TV broadcasting and things like that as well. For the UFL, I'd like to see the same thing, expansion when it comes to teams, a better format, team owners, you know what I mean? I just want to see a bright future for both of these leagues. And next week we got some things to talk about another league coming out. So there's a lot going on in the football world, man, but we'll touch on that next week. But what's your thoughts? What would you like?
IFL, same thing. I just want to see more fan interest now. I mean, it's a league
that as well. Yes,
it could succeed. You have enough teams there. There's enough markets for this thing to really be successful. And when you're talking successful, talking like what the UFL could see. That's not going to happen. It's a different game. It's a different format. But I think this league can really sustain itself now. And just all they need is the fans now to get on board, and it's going to take off, man. That's what I want to see the IFL. As far as the UFL, I don't see them hitting that 30 teams or nothing, even within the next 12 years. Look how long it took the NFL to get there. It took them a long time to get there. But I see what you're saying. I want to see some growth over the next few years. Me and you both said it, that there would not be an expansion next year, no matter how many times all those fans were talking on social media, oh, we want to see growth next year. It's not going to happen. It may not happen in year 3, though. I do think that they may add 2 teams in year 3, but it all depends how next year does. Year 2 in the UFL is going to be very pivotal because they need the attendance now. When they can get the attendance, if they can get it next year, that's when you expand to markets because you get the home attendance. So I want to see next year. Next year, I want to see the fans show up, and then we can talk about expanding in year 3.
Definitely. Off-topic question from Hit. Do you think ratings matter for movies and video games, or do you think it's all subjective? To really quickly touch on this, because we got about a minute and a half, to really quickly touch on this, it depends. When it comes to like the ratings of M for Mature, E for Everyone, things like that, TVMA, ratings for these TV shows, these movies, and these video games, yes, I feel that they are needed. But when it comes to like rating the game 5 stars, 10 stars, rating movies, things like that, it's subjective in a way, but I think it's needed just for the way the entertainment industry is and how we are perceived with receiving and liking something as a product.
Yeah, I've noticed though, in terms of movies, I don't normally go with ratings in terms of if you're talking about like how do you rate it, how good it is, like Rotten Tomatoes. I don't go with what the critics say. I always look at, even with games, I look at what the gamers say about a certain game. You know what I mean? Or I look at what the viewers say about a certain movie. Now, if you're talking ratings in terms of E for Everyone, stuff like that, yes, absolutely. There's a reason. GTA is the classic example. The GTA is the reason there is a mature rating, okay, on video games,
Yes,
as should be. So in terms of those two different style of ratings, yes, I see why they're necessary, but it's up to you to decide how serious you want to take them in your decision to watch a movie, play a video game, or you know what I mean? So just take it for what
There you
you
go.
want.
If y'all want to send your fan mail questions to the show, do so at the gridiron at gmail or the gridiron podcast, at gmail.com. You already know, y'all. Gabe, we haven't done this in a while. Let's get out of here the right way, man. Let them know.
Yo, my people. So real quick, I know we didn't get a chance to touch on this, but rest in peace to the great one, Willie Mays, y'all. If you do not know the impact that this man had, do yourself a favor and Google it, and you can find out everything about him, man, because there's a reason that the sports world was mourning this. Now, with that said, we always talk about me and my boy here. We're talking about, just before we came on, about how certain things in life has changed and how it's been better now than it was over the last few years. You know what I mean? For what Jersey's got going on, and I got some things going on, and I know every one of you's got things going on every single week, man, good and bad. But what you got to do is, take that good, keep it inside you, and make sure you keep that as a reason to keep putting one foot in front of the other. When you step into the bad situation that life's going to throw at you, all you can do is adapt to it, okay? You either go through it or you go around it, okay? But there's no other way to it. You cannot avoid the problems that life's going to give you guys. None of us can. But what you can do is adapt to it. You can evolve. You know what I'm saying? Because in the words of the great Bruce Lee, y'all, all you got to do is be water.
Be water, my friends. This is the Gridiron. I'm Jersey the King, Kevin Womble. He's OG Double G, Gabe Garcia. This is Fuel Sports Network. We will see y'all next week, y'all. We love y'all.
Love.
Peace out.